about this. And look, for me, I don't just make wild statements without backing them up. When I say Zambia is a dictatorship, I'm looking at a number of things that are happening in the country. First of all, no matter which way you want to look at the freedoms, our freedoms to express ourselves, which are the fundamental pillars of democracy, have been taken away. We have a number of people that are being arrested for expressing themselves, especially on social media. Even on radio station, there was that man who called the radio station, expressed himself. The next day, cadres were on him. We had that man who called when that PS for Lusaka Central, for Kabwe was on radio. I mean, it's actually the PS that insulted. That caller didn't do anything wrong. But unfortunately, that caller, the following day, was actually arrested. He was arrested. A number of people are being arrested for speaking out. Now, if that is not dictatorship, then what is? If that is not dictatorship, then what is? People are failing to express themselves. If you express yourself, you are at the risk of being arrested. This is happening. Yes, even in PF, such things used to happen, but it's worse now. It is worse now. Then we have incidences that happened recently. I mean, I've been talking about parliament. Parliament, or the three arms of government, these are supposed to be independent. These are supposed to offer checks and balances on each other. Now, if we have a situation where the judiciary is completely usurped by the executive, parliament is completely taken over by cadres, because Maneli Muti, she's a cadre. She's just a cadre. So what we have at parliament is an institution that has been usurped by cadres. By cadres. They have taken it over, and they report directly to President Hakainde Hichilema. Now, if that is not dictatorship, then what is? You may want to say, okay, what are you talking about in parliament? I know some of the people that are following me, they don't know much about Zambia. But in Zambia, we have the three arms of government, and parliament is supposed to be independent. It's a legislature, which is supposed to make laws. And the members of parliament, when they're within the precinct of parliament or within the environment of parliament, they are supposed to enjoy immunity. They're supposed to enjoy immunity. They're supposed to speak out on any issue. They're supposed to speak out their mind. They're supposed to speak out, to speak from their conscience. They're supposed to speak out on what people tell them to bring to parliament. Unfortunately, what we have at the moment, we have members of parliament being suspended or being punished for speaking out. Can you imagine? Look at that paradox. A member of parliament is supposed to speak. That is the job of a member of parliament, is to speak. When you go to parliament, is to talk. But unfortunately, we have a situation where members of parliament are being punished for talking. Where members of parliament are being gagged from talking. And we have a situation, where Brian Mundubile, the leader of opposition, the substantive leader of opposition, it is a shame that today you can even call that other fool as leader of opposition. I mean, he's just a fool, little known twig. A little known twig. He's not even known at all. But this government has, twisted the PF leadership to install Mao Sampa and this other fool to be the Secretary General, and then the other one as leader of opposition. Honestly, I mean, what leader of opposition is he? They even have no shame. If that is not dictatorship, where a political party is completely just grabbed and people start appointing positions in that political party, if that is not dictatorship, then what is? Brian Mundubile is supposed to be the leader of opposition, and he is the leader of opposition. And if you go back to the incidences where today Brian Mundubile has been suspended, it is an incident where he was actually exercising the leadership, the responsibility that he carries as a leader of opposition. That's what he was doing. He was helping to install order and a free flow of events in parliament, helping the speaker. That is the job of a leader of opposition, is to help the speaker, is to help in the debate. That is the job of a leader of opposition. That is his job. Unfortunately, Brian Mundubile has been punished for trying to help Moyo, who knows nothing. Moyo, who has water in the head. There's no substance in his head. And Brian Mundubile was trying to help him. And as he was trying to help him, Moyo, because of being empty, and having an inferiority complex, I mean, he got agitated. Moyo is a big mess. He's a curse to our parliament. Moyo is a curse to our parliament. He's a big curse. I don't know what we did to deserve a man like Moyo to sit there as, I mean, I can imagine how frustrating it is for the members of parliament to have Moyo sitting there as a speaker, because the guy just doesn't have, he's nuts. He's really nuts. Chikopo bad. Ichikopo chine. Anyway, Ubukopo Wakwa Moyo has ended up now having Brian Mundubile suspended. A leader of opposition has been suspended. For what? For speaking out, for trying to help the speaker himself. And he has been suspended. If that is not dictatorship, then what is? We have seen how members of parliament behave in other jurisdictions. We watch. Some of us, me, I follow Parliament of Kenya. I follow the House of Commons in Britain. I follow the Senate. I follow. So you see how they behave, and South Africa is one of those countries that I follow, and you see how people behave. But in our parliament, they want to treat our members of parliament like kindergarten children, which is quite unfortunate. We have this woman now who, one of the young members of the parliament, one of the members of parliament, a lady who boldly told the speaker, she spoke out, she spoke her mind. She told the president, you are lying, you are a liar. And surely, who doesn't know about the lies of Hakainde Hichilema? Who can pretend? Even the praise singers themselves, they know. We all know. It is evident. It is evident. The lies of Hakainde Hichilema are as good as, air. That you just see, it is there. It is inevitable. Even if you don't want to see it, you will see it. It is so apparent. Hakainde Hichilema is a big liar. He's a big liar. Even himself, he knows that he's a liar. Because he lies even to himself. Hakainde Hichilema is so dangerous in terms of lying. Because he lies even to himself. He lies to himself. Hakainde Hichilema. He looks at it like it's the truth. And yet, woofy. That is how dangerous that man is. And that's why I say it is a psychological disability. It is a psychological disability called mythomania. A person who has got a propensity to lie and exaggerate. That is what Hakainde Hichilema. Mythomania. He's a mythomaniac. He lies. Everybody knows, even the children, they know that this man is a liar. Who doesn't know? Even himself knows. And this member of parliament brings it out to say, hello, President, you are a liar. And, that is just the truth. That is just the truth. She expressed herself, the opinion, this is the opinion that she has of this lying president, of this sick president. This is an opinion that she has. Because Hakainde Hichilema that man can lie na papata. He can lie. He can lie. That man can lie, for goodness sake. And this woman, all she did is to point out this truth. You are a liar. And today, this woman has been suspended. For what? What crime has she committed? For telling Hakainde Hichilema the truth? For expressing herself? For speaking out? Even the standing orders that they have quoted, which standing orders have they quoted? Because she only spoke. And that's what she's supposed to do, is to speak. And she called out the president for what he is, a liar. A sick man, a mythomaniac man. She called him that. And today, she has been suspended. Why have you suspended that woman? If it is not dictatorship. That woman has been suspended because it is a dictatorship. It is a dictatorship. By the way, you saw, those of you who watched, members of parliament usually they say nay, no, yay, nay, and the nay were more than the yay. And most of the times, that is how parliament operates. The louder, the response, it carries the day. And the speaker, rude. I think the nays have it. Because that's the truth. And unfortunately, the executive had to go for a division. And it went into voting. And they made sure that all their members of parliament voted against Brian Mundubile. And of course, because of their majority, because they are the majority in parliament, they carried the day. They carried the day. But you can see that is not how things are supposed to be done. It is out of fear, even that the second deputy speaker changed their mind. Because if she had stood her ground, she should have been in trouble. So she had to, because really, that was going back. Because she ruled, she said, I think the nays have it. But a division was called, because she couldn't stand the ground. She couldn't stand the ground. Wherever she is, wherever my deputy speaker, wherever she is, she knows that day, members of parliament refused to suspend him. She knows. And everybody knows. Everybody knows. It is only our president, our Shindaulo, who don't want to see things for what they are. But really, we can tell. And that is the dictatorship I'm talking about. The suspension of Jean Chisenga is a dictatorship I'm talking about. And this dictatorship, you need to be very careful with it. It is very serious, very, very serious. Why am I saying very serious? Look, these people, they are consolidating themselves. They want to consolidate themselves at every level, up to the level of the councillors. We have seen in the by-elections where ministers, including the president, going to campaign at the local level. That is very serious, because they are determined to build that dictatorship, to make that dictatorship work. They want to create a system of dictatorship. And that is why they are going at every level and they are putting in so much effort. Zambians, this is what I'm calling upon you. Open your eyes. Hakainde Hichilema is growing a pyramid of dictatorship. He's growing a pyramid of dictatorship. He wants to be everywhere, at every level of leadership. Everywhere, he wants to be there. And once he has installed his people that worship him, that will be it. It will be a solid pyramid that will not be able to move. Open your eyes, Zambians. Why do we see ministers, do we see the president going to campaign for a councillor? Why? Now we are having this situation. Where we are electing the deputy mayors. You have to know that a mayor is elected by the district, by the people in the district, electorates, okay, in the district or in the town council. So the mayor stays for 5 years. That is the full term for the mayor. But for the deputy mayor is chosen among the councillors. Those who are picked as councillors, that is where the mayor is chosen from, and it is the councillors themselves who choose amongst themselves who's going to be the deputy mayor. So, and these deputy mayors, they only do half a term, not 5 years, meaning 2 years 6 months. So after 2 years 6 months, another elections are held. The first elections are held immediately after the general election. Then you choose a deputy mayor. After 2 years 6 months, you have to choose another mayor. So currently, throughout the country, we are in the process of choosing deputy mayors. And this, you might look at it, it has never been an issue, really, where we are coming from. It has never been an issue. I know some of you are even learning about this issue that, deputy mayors, they go for 1 year 6 months. Deputy mayors. I'm sure some of you, a lot of you are just learning now, because it has never been an issue where we are coming from. However, with this government, UPND, Hakainde Hichilema, a dictator government, it has become an issue. It has become an issue where it is a matter of life and death. A matter of life and death. It started in Kabwe. In Kabwe, councillors were sitting in their chambers about to choose this deputy mayor, and the police stormed the chambers to try and arrest some opposition councillors so that they pave way for the ruling party candidates to win the deputy mayorship. We saw it. It is on video. It is on social media, and you saw that police were not justified. How do you go and arrest somebody in the chambers? And by the way, in the chambers, like in parliament, they have immunity. Members of parliament enjoy immunity. Councillors enjoy immunity when they are in the chambers. And so a police officer cannot walk in there and arrest a councillor. But we saw it happening where the law was not respected. Police entered the chambers. They are not supposed to enter the chambers. They are foreign entities. In the chamber, only the people that are supposed to be there can go in. You cannot go in the chambers if you have not been invited. But unfortunately, we saw police entering into the chambers, disregarding whatever the law says. If that is not dictatorship, then what is? Where police are entering in a chamber where they are not supposed to be, and they want to arrest somebody who has immunity. If that is not dictatorship, then what is dictatorship? Honestly. And luckily, that mayor put his foot on the ground and he chased those police officers. And they went away because they saw that they were cameras, they were being captured. They went away. We now saw what happened. We saw another incident in Mukushi. In Mukushi, cadres were brought. Councillors were going into the chambers to have those votes to vote for the chairperson of Mukushi. Cadres were brought outside. Cadres. They were busy drumming up, singing and drinking. And they warned the councillors, if a PF member wins, we are going to beat you up. Unfortunately, to their shame, the PF councillor emerged victorious. Those cadres went in, they turned the tables upside down. They beat up councillors in full view of the police, and the police wanted to defend the councillors were also beaten. They were also beaten. These things I'm talking, they are not things that I'm fabricating them. These things are there for everyone to see. So if that is not dictatorship, then what is? Where councillors can be beaten by cadres. They are voting, cadres sit outside, drumming up, singing, warning councillors. And councillors, defied the instructions of the UPND, and they voted accordingly, and the PF member was voted. And what do cadres do? They go in, beat everyone, turn the tables upside down. My brothers and sisters in Zambia, really, if we are playing around, our country will be on fire very soon. Our country will be on fire very soon. If we are not careful, or we will not be able to talk. But I know we cannot suppress it for a long time. We will react, and when we react, that is the fire I'm talking about. From there, we saw what happened in Quito now. In Quito now, Gary Kombo made sure He went there. Gary Ngombo made sure now that he made sure that they don't lose, because they saw that they lost in Kitwe. They saw that they lost in Mukushi. He now went there and made sure the mayor was arrested. The mayor was arrested, and the mayor is supposed to be the chairperson in the council meeting. But he was arrested. Another councillor was arrested. Other councillors were victimized. They were victimized. Others were cheated to say, no, once you vote for a UPND, whatever, there are jobs in Mopani. We will give you jobs in Mopani. Some of them were given money. At the end of the day, a UPND councillor went through in Kitwe. A UPND councillor went through, which is the same situation in Lusaka. In Lusaka also, a UPND a councillor went through. Now, here is a problem that is coming out of this situation. The deputy mayors are now becoming the substantive mayors. In Lusaka, you have Chilando Chitangala, who won as mayor. And by the way, remember, I contested that seat, and Chilando won that seat, followed by UPND, and followed by, of course, Tayali. Because some of you think that I'm just a joker, but I was number 3 there. First, PF Chitangala. Number 2, it was a UPND man who has been given a job now, but that is another topic for another day. And myself. So she is a substantive mayor who is supposed to be respected, who is supposed to run the council. Unfortunately, she's being sidelined. She's being sidelined. It is now the deputy mayor who is running, who has become the mayor. The civil servants in the council, they are now taking instructions from the deputy mayor and not the mayor. It is the same thing which they want to do in Kitwe. The same thing. And everywhere else. They don't mind. They don't want to respect the substantive mayor or chairpersons. They don't want to respect them. They are installing their own leadership. The WDCs are being suspended. They are bringing in cadres to be in the WCDs. I will talk about this on another day, in details. But just to highlight some of these issues, which is making me say, the government of Hakainde Hichilema is a dictatorship. Is a dictatorship. So I've given you some of these issues which are happening in our country. And if that is not dictatorship, I want you to tell me then what is dictatorship? And as all these things are happening, the question is, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Are we going to sit back? Because I've been telling you that this government, we need to check it. But a lot of things are happening and we seem to be just sitting back. Leader of opposition has been removed. It's business as usual. It's going on. But isn't there something that we can do? Of course, there's something that we can do. And mostly when we have situations like this one, that's why we go to court. But you go to court, who do you find? You find Mumbamari and his judges, cadres of judges, who were appointed recently by Hakainde Hichilema to specifically handle these kind of matters. They are not doing anything. They are not helping our country. So even if you are aggrieved, you go to court. For example, what happened, these situations that are happening at the council levels, you can actually go to court. But unfortunately, even if you go to court, nothing will happen. Because the Mumbamarila judicial system is a compromised one. It is a UPND branch. The police are not the police for Zambians. The police are the police for UPND. To make sure that whatever they want happens by force. Like they did Kuli PF, where they go and locked up the secretariat. Protected mouths to have a fake convention. Bakapokola being used to go and arrest mayors, councillors, so that they don't vote. To go and arrest a mayor, for goodness sake. Imagine arresting a mayor. Arresting a mayor. These are not things that we usually see. But they are happening. And we seem to be okay. A mayor, the entire mayor of a big city like Kitwe is arrested, and we are quiet. We are quiet. It's business as usual. At which point are we going to react? At which point are we going to react to show Hakainde Hichilema that we are not happy? At which point are we going to react to show Nelly Muti that we are not happy? And that Moyo is useless. At which point are we going to react? At which point are we going to react to show Mumbamarila to say, no, we are not happy? At which point? When are we going to do it? When are we going to show these people to say, we are not happy, we cannot tolerate this? This is not the Zambia we fought for. This is not the Zambia we fought for. This is not why we voted for Hakainde Hichilema. At which point are we going to do that?